Hello, everyone. I can see a couple of you joining now. Just got to wait a couple of minutes to see if anyone's joining. A couple of minutes late. I'll to get set in a minute or so.
If anyone does have any questions, do pop them in the chat throughout. We do encourage questions. So yeah, pop those in as we go through, keep them anonymous, and then yeah, we can answer those towards the end. We've got some time for Q&A at the end. So Alex will be able to answer some of those for you. Yeah, just make sure you pop those into the chat function at the bottom of your screen.
Perfect, thanks, Jess. I've not seen anyone join for the last sort of 30 seconds, so we're probably pretty stable now. So thank you for taking a bit of time out your day to come along to another webinar. This is the third in the series. Special thanks for those who have joined some of the others. We have recordings available for those who would like to watch them back. We've done Prospect's notifications feature with myself and also the opportunity pipelines covered by Kirsty. We have quotes for order workflow and reporting still to come this year, with more content planned for later in the year, if not into 2024. So plenty heading your way. You may have just heard Jess speaking if you were here. She's on the call, and again, happy to take any questions you've got. Just pop them in the chat there. For those who don't know me, my name is Alex. I've been with Prospect for 5 years, one of which is now under the Access Group since we were acquired. And I've held a couple of positions in support, onboarding, and CSM. So hopefully I know my way around well enough for today's session. So in terms of what we're going to look to cover, we're going to focus on the average order value, looking at features like upsell and the magic matrix. And I promise not to keep you all afternoon, and especially not in PowerPoint. So we'll start by taking a look at the magic matrix and building some campaigns through the build awareness feature. I'll be covering a couple of reports, including the X not but not Y reports, looking at some upsell options while building your quotes, product minimum margins, and some delivery options as well. But before we go into that, I just wanted to cover what we actually mean by sort of average order value. So you'll know better than I will how many orders you take roughly on a monthly basis, and your customer base will naturally fluctuate. Many of you experiencing sort of a net growth, hopefully month by month, where some customers will slip away, but you'll be onboarding new customers. We have many tools within Prospect, like the RFM analysis and missing orders, which help you sort of manage that relationship with your customer and reduce your churn. As your customer base grows, your order intake and revenue will increase with them. The purpose of today's call is to actually take that sort of customer base you've already got and see how you can increase the average order value and get more revenue out of those customers. We'll also look to increase the customer lifetime value, which is something we hold quite dear here at Prospect. That's the sort of the total revenue you would expect from a customer throughout their lifetime trading with you, whether that's months, years, or hopefully decades. Look at some of the upselling options by recommending complementary products or higher value products to help increase that average order value. Create some opportunities from looking at data within that customer base and seeing what we can prize out of that existing customer base in terms of generating more growth, and then ultimately increasing that customer experience as well. If the customer's happier, they see that you're attuned to sort of what they're looking for, the average order value will increase as you sort of promote different products to them and get more from those quotes and those orders. So I'll take you straight over to our demo system now, because nobody likes PowerPoint. And this is the That's My Jam test profile. This is a demo system we have that's a fictional company. It sells jams and jam jars, a B2B wholesaler, just to sort of set the scene here a little bit. And we'll start with a demonstration of the magic matrix. So you can find this in sales on this left-hand side, lives in here. Just a tangent very quickly, for whatever reason, if you're trying to follow along and that's not there, if you go down to the settings, in system settings, you will need to be an administrator. Just in general, as you scroll down, you'll find magic matrix, allowing you to enable that feature there. Okay, so on this page, then I'll sort of give you a bit of a walk around. So on the left-hand side here, we've got your customer base. Across the very top, you've got some filters, industry or RFM segment. And then across this top here, we have your magic matrix categories. This might be similar to your inventory management product groups, but it's not necessarily the same. They don't have to match. You can actually remove all of those and start from scratch, or configure them as you go, or for specific purposes and such like that. We've then got these colorful dots, which I'll go through in just a second. Just a quick shout out, if anyone has issues with color or color blindness, we do have a setting where you can go and change this. So in the top right on your profile, into settings, there is a colorblind mode, just for anyone who needs to know about that now. So within the magic matrix then, so we've got this sort of workflow from red to green, where red is unaware, green is bought. So what we mean by red is they are unaware of any of those products within this category. So in this case, we're looking at finished jam, unaware being that they haven't purchased anything from here for at least a year. And I'll show you the configuration stages in just a moment. As we add them to a campaign activity and build awareness, they will turn to this orange color. They've been added to some campaigns here. Look, so a couple of days ago, they end in a couple of weeks. If they then come back and log an opportunity from those campaigns, you can actually reference that it was this campaign they've replied to. That then turns them blue as you log an opportunity. And then hopefully the customer purchases something that they've potentially never purchased before. If we look at some of these customers down here that maybe have never purchased, so jam makers, they've made multiple purchases for ingredients and finished jams, but they've never purchased jam making kits or jars. So we've got plenty of opportunity to delve into and see if we can go and build a bit of an activity to get more out of those customers and expand their horizons as well as to what you can offer them. So in terms of configuration, just a tangent slightly on this one, if you go over to a product, just going to look for a random product here. Within the product, there's categorization. And as you scroll down, you can use a magic matrix category. Again, if these categories aren't relevant or you need to add a new one, this option here just allows you to configure. You can click through this and obviously look at the ones you've got existing and archive them if they're no longer relevant, or just add a new one. And the only option you need to worry about is this transaction age. So by default, it's 12 months. And what that means is we're looking 12 months into the past to see if they've purchased these items, or 18 months, whatever you set it to, 6 months, etc. And just looking, reviewing that data that we've got. Okay, so this tool then is actually not being used just yet. So we're just looking around and sort of picking on bits and pieces. The whole point of this tool is to use it in bulk through build awareness. So this build awareness campaign is to sort of pick this data apart, build a scenario, and then market to that scenario. So we'll go through that now. So I'm going to pick a couple of these categories. So we'll pick ingredients, maybe some, specialty jam flavors and multi-packs. You can then add account managers if you're looking for sort of a subset of data. If you've got managed by account managers, RFM and industries, and sort of break that data down further. And then this is the important bit here. So what we're looking for is customers who are aware of ingredients. So they've probably purchased something within the last 12 months, but they are unaware of the specialty jam and unaware of multi-packs. So customers that have bought something from ingredients but never purchased items from these other two categories. And it gives you a quick insight that there are 27 customers in this list. So I'm going to press next and add these to a campaign activity. So I don't want to spend too much time sort of building into campaign activities. I will touch on them just so you get a rough idea, but it is another module and probably something we'll build a webinar on as well if we don't already have one from recent. But a campaign activity, I go and create a new one. We're going to do an e-shot jams. Going to set the parent to new jams. Type is email marketing and the cost is 0. And I'll explain what I've just set up in just a moment. And hit next. That's going to add my contacts. They are all being added to that campaign activity. And we'll go over to that campaign. So what we've got then up here, you can see that's our campaign on the left, New Jams 2023, and then eShop Jams is our campaign activity. And just to explain a little bit on that, then a campaign is sort of your overall marketing objective, where an activity is a task within that objective. So your campaign could be for selling a certain flavor of jam, selling new line jam or something. And then the activities could be an e-shot, a telephone campaign, a leaflet drop or something like that, maybe a blimp with your colours on and some jam jars hanging off the bottom, whatever works, whatever's in budget. We're going to focus on email marketing. So we've got our target contacts on this activity. And this is where you can take advantage of some of the email marketing integrations we have. So we integrate to both Klaviyo and MailChimp. This list here could be synced or tagged across to those platforms for you to go and put them in a drip feed campaign or send them a one-off marketing email from those platforms. The integration we have then brings back that information from Klaviyo and MailChimp back into Prospect, and you can build out from there and send follow-ups and hopefully get some interactions from them that way. If, for example, this person does come back, and let's pick a person here. So we've got Jamie Lannister. If they came back and they wanted one of these products, or they've asked for some pricing or a catalog or something like that, you might choose to log an opportunity for them as they've engaged with that marketing activity. And you can reference that as you add the opportunity. We have a source down here for the email marketing. And I can actually say that the source was our eShop Jams that we just did. In terms of where we are on the magic matrix then, if I go back here, everyone that we've just added into that campaign would have gone from red to orange. And then Jamie Lannister, as we've created that opportunity, would have now just turned blue as we have an active opportunity. The next step of this is obviously for Jamie to hopefully come back and purchase something, in which case he'd go from that blue to the green, signifying that he's made a purchase of one of those items in that category. So in summary then, we've identified opportunities from within the company base, marketed to capitalize on that, and hopefully then created growth from the existing customer base. Another way of doing this is sort of more simplified, just a quicker version of the magic matrix, if you like, to yield similar sort of results. If you go to sales and then reports, we also have the customers who bought X but not Y. This is a report that says, as it is on the tin, show me a list of customers who have purchased this product but never purchased this one. So I've got an example queued up. So what these are then, just for a bit of context, that is an apple flavored jam, and this is a lime flavored jam. And what I've asked Prospect for is a list of customers who have purchased apple jam but never purchased lime jam. And again, if this was a massive list, you could look at doing email marketing campaigns to reach out digitally. If, as this is quite a small list, you might just engage one-on-one and just do a bit of a telephone marketing campaign and see if you can generate that interaction with the customer and expand what they've been purchasing from you. On that then, if I move on to a quote now, another really interesting way of getting a bit more out of your average order value and a little bit more out of those orders. If I go and choose, we'll go back to Jamie Lannister and make Jamie a quote. So another option we have is upsell, which is essentially, there's three types. There's upgrade, must sell, and recommended. And these are pop-ups you can build within the system based on the products you're adding to your quote lines that will then prompt the user to engage with the person who's, well, in this case, Jamie Lannister, and see if they would like to buy something else that's related or a recommendation. So I'll show you some examples here. So we have Blissful Blueberry Jam. And when I add that in, I've actually built a relationship to upgrade what they're trying to purchase. So in this case, Blissful Blueberry Jam, there is an upgrade for a 3-pack of the same product, where it's obviously £9 more. And that's a nice, easy way of upselling. It prompts you to do it. You don't have to have, I know some of you guys that are on this call have thousands of products, and this is a nice, easy way of prompting you without having decades worth of product experience. So we'll do that and we'll continue. So that's now switched out to the 3-pack. Another example of upsell is the engraved jam jar. This is a must-sell relationship where actually, instead of just buying that engraved jam jar, this is almost like a kit builder sort of thing where the checkered jam jar lids have to be sold with the engraved jam jar, and you can build sort of multiple product levels on here. So we've almost got this sort of pack. It automatically attaches it. I can press continue, and on my lines here, it's added our engraved jam jar and then the checkered lids as sort of that little kit there. And another example is probably the most simple one, is just the recommendation. So retro jam making kit. This is just a product that doesn't have any direct relationship with these other items, but from experience, maybe customers buying the retro jam kit, maybe they often buy an apron or something you think would go well together. So you can have that conversation with the customer, recommending this product. And again, tells us that we're making another £15.19 on this order, increasing that order value a little bit. So creating those relationships is nice and easy, just to show you a bit of configuration. If I go into one of these products, on the left-hand side, you've got upsell. You can do this in bulk. You can use a template and create a lot of relationships at once for this product, or just add it manually like I'll show you now. So I'm going to add a product, link product item. If I just search for jam, add a jam set. So now every time I add checkered jam jars to my quote lines, it will recommend this jam pan, or again, change it to a must sell or an upgrade, create that relationship. And now any sales rep or anyone building a quote will see that pop up to try and entice the customer to buy something else and increase that value a little bit. So another way of sort of increasing that average order value, again, just trying to get the most out of that customer, sort of existing customer base, is to actually set margins. And I know from conversations with a lot of you that margin-based pricing is quite common, and it's something we do offer, and there's a few options we have as well. So if I just go back to our quote for a second there. So I'm just going to go to another page and set up some settings. So if I just go in here and just do a quick search for margin, we have a setting called quote and order lines minimum margin percentage. And what that does is allows me to set one of two settings. I can set a margin, which I'll do at 50%, and then allows me to either allow these orders through or stop them entirely. And what this is a banner just reminding the sales reps that they're not selling this product for the correct amount of margin which you've set. So if I go back to our quotes here and give this a refresh now that we've made the adjustment to that setting. So this pops up as a warning. It's not stopping me doing anything. I can still confirm the quote, but it's saying some lines are below the minimum margin set by your organization. So we can add a cost price into this, maybe see which one it is, have a quick look through. Maybe you've put too much of a discount on, maybe you haven't priced something correctly, but for whatever reason we're underselling that. We've sort of diminished the value a little bit, and it's something you can maybe go back and review. And again, that other option is, if you're quite firm on this, is just to completely disallow this. In which case, if I give this a refresh again, this actually comes up with a slightly more aggressive looking banner and says some lines, again, below the minimum margin. And I've actually can't now confirm that order. It's been diminished too much. There's almost no point selling it from this margin perspective, is sort of the attitude here. Don't sell it at this price, go and review it again. So there's a few options there. I'm just going to turn that off quickly before I forget. Brilliant. Then we'll give this a refresh. So again, just stops you from diminishing projects and just helps achieve good margins. Okay, and one of the other points on our agenda was to speak about delivery upsells. So delivery is something that most of you guys have got configured. We do have this delivery page on the left-hand side, so it can be set here. And I just wanted to go and explain sort of some of the settings we've got. So go back into settings, just so this makes sense. I'm just going to look at these automatic calculations we've got set up, and then we'll focus on the signed for 24-hour delivery. So the price for this shipping option is £25. The minimum order value is £300, and then there is a £10 surcharge. So what this does, if I go and set this for 24-hour delivery, it actually pops up and says, this quote is £270 away from that £10 delivery discount. Now, again, it doesn't stop me from doing anything. It's not stopping me putting the order through. What it has done is applied that surcharge. So although the price is 25, it's added £10 off because they're underneath that £300 minimum price. And again, it just prompts the sales guys to have a conversation with that customer. If they're close to that price, it might be beneficial for them to buy slightly more of the blissful blueberry jam. In this case, maybe they can add another few units on. Maybe there's something else that they were umming and ahhing about, and now this is going to commit them to purchase an additional line of products just to get them to that delivery discount. This sort of is great for customer relationships just because you're helping them almost save money in the long term, and great for your revenue growth as you're building this order and the average order value is going up as you're doing so. Another option we've got, I just go back just to show you where this setting is. I've actually got this one configured already. We've got an option for pop-up confirmation on orders and quotes. And I've got this set to before confirming an order. And I'll show you what that does. If I now just take off that delivery for just a second, if I try and confirm this quote, it now pops up with a window and asks me to check the details, basically. So it's checking the address and checking the delivery details, delivery charges down here as well. So this is just a nice little pop-up just to make sure no quotes are slipping through without a delivery option. I mean, in this case, if it's at least £5 or £30, it saves having to go back and ask them for it. It saves going sort of without that money and diminishing the order value further. So just a nice, easy way of reducing some errors, just to pop that open and make sure you can just double check those features. And then, yeah, that one can go through. So let me go back to our PowerPoint. So that's the sort of main bulk of the demo today. There was already questions submitted. I'm confident the features that we've sort of demonstrated will no doubt assist you in getting more from your customer base and increase that average order value, whether it's just identifying new opportunities through the Magic Matrix or some product simple upsell links, or even just some making sure that delivery is going through, all will contribute just to that increase of average order value. So some of the questions, Jess, I don't know if we had any questions come through. I can see actually a few already.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just looking at those, and yeah, Alex, have a little look through. And in the meantime, if you have got any questions, do pop those in. We are encouraging questions. So there's a question chat or there's a Q&A box, so whichever takes your fancy. So yeah, let's have a look at these then, Alex. So when you set your quote margin percentages per product group, every line we sell have different margin scenarios.
So at the moment, no, but interestingly, I have had someone else ask me a very similar thing. So that is something I'm going to go and explore with the product team, just because I think you're right. Not every item or every product group is going to have the same margins. So being able to split that up, whether it's by, like I said, product group or some other factor, I think it's going to be really important. And I think it's something we will explore.
Great, thank you. And Lisa was just asking, where to kind of configure those delivery charges. Is that something that should be done in the ERP system or in the CRM?
So you have options. What I did today was all within Prospect and those delivery sections within there. So I'd recommend personally using Prospect for that. Yes.
Great. Okay. And Alex, I don't know if there's any other ones in your...
There was one from Lisa. Any plans to upsell recommend items available in the CMS? So I think we might have something that's in the works for this. Again, I don't think it's the first time we've been asked this, and some customers have gone and built their own versions of this. But what we really need, like you said, Lisa, is a core version of this to be available on the website. So I will come back to you personally on that one, just because I'm pretty sure that we have something in the works for that already.
Yeah. Okay.
Conversation.
We can take that one away then and come back to you, Lisa. Okay, in that case, I think we are done on the questions, unless anyone's got any burning ones they want to pop in there last second. But I think that's it, Alex. Yeah, are you happy to wrap up?
Yeah, if there's no other questions, then that's it for me. Obviously, again, we've still got more webinars coming out. I think the next one is in probably two and a bit weeks, I think now, and that will be, I think that's the quote toward a workflow, if I remember correctly. So if you've got the web address on screen, please come along to that as well. And if there is any other topics you can think of, just give us a shout. If there's anything you would like to cover, then we'll sort of take the most requested and do some webinars on that for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think actually on that page, Alex, there's actually a form if you want to submit any kind of topic suggestions.
Fantastic.
And that just comes straight through to us in the marketing team. So if you've got any suggestions, put them through there. But on that page, underneath the upcoming fall sessions, we have listed a few topics that we are planning content for as well, just so you can see, what we've already got in the pipeline. But yeah, do make use of that page, as Alex said, because it's got all of the recordings and you can suggest any topics for future. Okay.
Yeah,
thanks
brilliant.
everyone for coming
Perfect.
on.
Yes, thank you all very much. Much appreciated.
Thanks everyone. Bye.